Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the DMI What's Up Downtown Breakfast here on Friday. It is Different Day Friday. I like everyone's kind of in a Friday mood, ready for the weekend. Welcome to the beautiful Edgewater Hotel for another in our series of What's Up Downtown Breakfast. I'm Jason Elster, president of Downtown Madison, Inc., and it's so good to see all of you downtown. And there really is a nice energy. Maybe we should always have this on Friday, John. No, probably not. Thursday's better for everybody, right? We are excited. We have an excellent program here today. We have an incredible new leader in town. I guess you're not that new. How many? Yes, you feel like 2 years. COVID, 2 years in January. Letesha Nelson, the executive director and CEO of the Goodman Community Center, is here. If you haven't got a chance to meet Letesha, please stop by and say hello. She has just this wonderful, infectious personality. So we're excited to hear from her. Before, though, we have a ton of new members. That brings great new energy for our organization. First up, we've got Kindness Bank, a division of the Kindness Foundation, represented by Julie Gullickson. Kindness Bank is a new innovative collective hub where individuals, businesses, and other nonprofits collaborate. Kindness Bank is invested in improving community health and well-being based on the act of kindness. I like that. The next up is Lake Effect HR and Law, represented by good friend to DMI and downtown, Jane Clark. Lake Effect HR and Law provides comprehensive HR and employment law services to clients throughout Wisconsin and the United States. Their mission is to maximize each client's workplace potential with a commitment to kindness, true partnership, and exceptional service. There's a lot of kindness in these members here today. I like it. I hope we pass that on to everybody. Speaking of kindness, this group is building a huge building downtown, which we need the housing. LZ Management Company, founded in 2014 by local Madisonians, LZ Management is dedicated to bringing hospitality mindset to the apartment management business. And welcome Dan Zellner. And they are building the new Continental Tower on the 400 block of East Washington. And it's getting very close. And as you could see from the articles, we need every apartment we can get. So if anyone wants to build apartments in this room, Matt Carlson, you could do the deals. Yes, we need them. We need them. Next up, and a special one here for us today is My Arts, represented by Jessica Cordier. And it is a mission to ensure opportunities for young people to express themselves, discover the arts, and create connections, and also serve as a home to the Children's Theater of Madison and the Madison Youth Choirs right on East Mifflin. And you can come check the place out in a week and a half time. We'll be there for our November New Faces, New Places. If you haven't seen the Madison Youth Art Center, it's spectacular. So come and enjoy the facility there. All right, we have Pat. I think Scott is here. Scott Forrester, also representing Ben Van Camp. Rehab Path is growing mission-driven company in Madison that operates mental health-focused websites in several marketplaces across the world. Rehab Path helps make first step in an individual's path to recovery, the right step through knowledgeable, relevant, unbiased, and helpful information online, while continuing to provide relevant resources throughout the entire recovery journey. And they just opened their offices on the 100 State Block on the 3rd floor. So a beautiful space. That's exciting to see them downtown. And I know Lindsay Yoder is here. Welcome, Lindsay, from Sign Art Studio since 2005. Sign Art Studio has worked with some of Wisconsin's leading developers, architects, and designers to provide top quality signage. Their goal is to provide customers with the most effective and attractive sign packages around. Welcome, Lindsay. Next up, we've got Dan Butler and the team from Supreme Structures. They're literally building downtown, including the Harvey House and many of these great places. Supreme Structures is general contractor and design build construction company working in the Madison area. Supreme Structures works on projects including retail and restaurants, large commercial buildings and showrooms, convenience stores, and tenant build-outs. Welcome, Dan. Welcome. Last up, we've got Watch Her Grow with Julie Allison. Watch Her Grow is a boutique bookkeeping and financial services company providing third-party support to women-owned businesses and startups. In addition to bookkeeping and accounting services, Her Grow offers budgeting, forecasting, margin analysis, Watch Her Grow, and decision support for hiring, large purchases, and business plans. So thank you to all of our new members this month. We're excited to welcome you, and I know many of you are here today. So thank you for being with us. One of the key parts of a successful downtown is to have a lot of events, and there seem to be a lot of events happening in downtown. We are so fortunate to partner with our sister organization, Madison Central Business Improvement District, on some of their great events, including one of my favorite of the year, It seems to, well, I promise this is happening. Shine, there we go. Shine on Madison. Shine on Madison is where we light downtown on Saturday, November 19th from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We have a nice winter market. We've got special guests that'll be there as well. Come on down for the seasonal lighting ceremony at 6:08. People understand why? Okay, I hope so. It takes a while for some. At 6:08, we will light up the Capitol area and the 100 block of State Street. So please join us. We've got lots of celebrities, including Santa, Bucky, and many others. So kids will love it. It was great seeing all the kids as well for the family Halloween just a few days ago. We are really excited for this event. So please do join us on November 19th. All right. We also have big news here at DMI. Just a week and a half ago, the DMI Board of Directors approved our new strategic plan. This will be our strategic plan until 2028, which remarkably is not that far away. Yeah, but we're so excited because over the past 9 months, we've had 550 different people fill out the survey, take part in this. We really heard what people want to see downtown. And what we hear is in our new mission. And our new mission statement is to make downtown Madison an economically strong, inclusive, equitable, and vibrant place for people to live, work, and visit. And the plan outlines 5 new value areas that are important to DMI, which will frame all of our work: economic vibrancy and inclusiveness, safety and welcome, diverse and equitable, connected and accessible, and sustainable and resilient. These values will guide all of the work moving forward. We will still be heavily involved in community building and running events like this. You'll also see some new events coming on the horizon. We also will be heavily invested in our advocacy work as well, particularly with local governments and our policy research segments. And we've got some new things, including placemaking here in downtown. And there's great people like Emily DeVore here who are working on a wonderful placemaking project, the Lakefront Porch at Wilson Street. I think I got that name almost right. Yes, sorry. It's a wonderful project right on East Wilson. All right, next up, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors who helped make this event. Our major series sponsor, we have Carlson himself in the room today from Carlson, Black, O'Callahan, and Battenberg. I don't know where Angie, Dan, or I can never remember Battenberg's first name, Steve, but we do have Carlson Black, who have been dedicated to downtown for many years. As Susan knows, who had my job before, Matt was an amazing chair of DMI, and he helped with Susan create our State of the Downtown report, which will be our next What's Up Downtown breakfast. So we're eternally thankful for all they do for downtown Madison. We are pleased to have Daniel LaFrance here, a partner with Carlson Black, O'Callahan, and Battenberg, to say a few words about this firm.
Good morning. Thank you. My name is Daniel LaFrance, although this afternoon during a Halloween parade with first and second graders, I will be known as by a different name. But for this morning, right. Yeah. So for this morning though, Daniel LaFrance, I'm a partner at Carlson Black, a law firm here in Madison that focuses primarily on commercial real estate, land use, development, construction, and business and tax law. And while some of my partners, Matt in particular, Angie, Dan, they've been involved in the Madison community and DMI for decades. I'm a relative newcomer to both Madison and DMI. And as my involvement with projects here in Madison grows, I learn more about this community, and I've come to realize that there's a collective effort throughout Madison to build a community that's vibrant, that has purpose, that is fun, and that is sustainable. And I've also come to appreciate the work and effort of DMI to create a downtown center that reflects and serves the entire Madison community. And while my partners and colleagues at Carlson Black, we all come from different backgrounds, we share an appreciation and love for useful and meaningful development, which is why I'm particularly excited to hear from our speaker today from the Goodman Community Center. So on behalf of Carlson Black, O'Callahan, and Battenberg, thank you, and thank you for having me this morning.
Well, thank you, Clark Kent. I didn't know you were supposed to actually give that. I love that. That it was fantastic. Now, Dan, all of his undershirts are Superman undershirts. Daniel, where are you from originally? Where did you come from? All right. All right, fantastic. So this is I just asked because Madison, as you know, is a growing city, right? We grew 17% over the last 10 years. It's always fascinating to hear where everybody comes from. So thank you to Carlson, Black, O'Callahan, and Batten for all of your sponsorship. Angie continues to serve on our board and our executive board as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, a huge thanks to our supporting series sponsors, Ho-Chunk Gaming, Madison, the State Bank of Cross Plains, TDS, and our special contributors, the Edgewater Hotel. Amy Supple, I know, is here. Thank you for feeding us and doing amazing hospitality with the team here. And UW Health, Unity Point Meritor, and Quartz for your partnership today. This month's extra special sponsor is our good friends from BMO, and we are so excited to have one of our own, DMI Board of Director and Senior Vice President for BMO, Andy Rothey, here to say a few words. Everybody knows Andy. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you, Jason, but I don't think I can beat that or Superman, but thank everybody for being here today. It's my honor to introduce our guest speaker, but very quickly have to bring up my notes. No Superman, but on behalf of BMO, thank you everybody for being here today. Just a quick note on BMO Harris Bank here in Madison. We take pride in driving the change for good, both as a trusted advisor to our clients and as our leaders in the communities that we work with. So we're very proud to be a member of DMI and a sponsor for this event here today. And that's all I had for my notes. Perfect. Thank you.
Short but sweet. I like that. Thank you, Andy. Andy is Mr. Downtown, longtime resident. I think I see him almost every day on the Capitol Square. Just does such a great job representing downtown. All right. You're not here to hear from me. You are here to hear from the amazing Letesha Nelson, the Executive Director and CEO of the Goodman Community Center, just an iconic facility here in the east side of downtown. Letesha Nelson joined the Goodman Community Center as its CEO and Executive Director in January of 2021. Letesha brings more than 20 years of experience in nonprofits that range working directly with programs participants, all the way leading up to leading an organization as its Executive Director. Prior to joining the Goodman Center, Letesha was the Executive Director of the Children and Family Enrichment at Idlewild in Memphis, Tennessee. And before that, she held a number of positions with the Girl Scouts that spanned more than 17 years in a range of responsibilities. Thanks to this breadth of experience, Letesha brings expertise in operational efficiency, fiscal responsibility, donor relations, grant writing, and programming to the Goodman Community Center. A naturally authentic person, Letesha's greatest strength may be her compassion and transparency she brings to every leadership role she's held. In her career, she has demonstrated a level of direct but caring communication with her staff, colleagues, donors, and community. Letesha couples this with demonstrated ability to think creatively, pragmatically, to ensure budgets are optimized to the greatest effect while members of the community receive the services they need. Perhaps this greatest strength of leadership and caring more naturally to Letesha because of her, work is personal. As a young single mother, she relied on services like those of the Goodman Center provides to balance taking care of her children and getting her degree. She understands how important the work of the Goodman Community Center is because she was once one of the very same person whose shoes were filled while their family was becoming a family. We are so excited to have Letesha here this morning and to talk about the important work of the Goodman Center. Following today's presentation, we will have time for questions. So please, if you're on Zoom, send those questions in through the chat, or we'll have a mic coming around for those questions here live. So it's my honor and privilege to welcome Letesha Nelson. Thank you. We have the world's most harrowing stairs. Yes.
I think you said it all. I think I can go to work. Okay, so thank you all for having me. Thank you, DMI. Thank you, Jason. I was telling John before I got up here this morning how much that smile of yours really illuminates a room and makes everybody feel warm. And is there any time that you're not smiling? So thank you. Well, I told him it was because of your wife. So I'm here this morning to talk about what's good at Goodman Center. A lot of you know Goodman as the East Side Community Center that is this big old conglomerate with 2 buildings and lots of people that come in and out of there every single day. But I think they want me to start with who I am. So I'm gonna do that. They put up my path, my ghostwriter in the organization, Amy Hoag. She always gives me words and takes what I tell her and puts it on paper so eloquently. She put this slide here to talk about my path to Goodman, but I actually am going to talk more about how I got here through my family. And I will tell you who I am as a person, because I think that's really important. So I am a daughter of Linda and Tom, and was born and raised in Milwaukee area. And Linda and Tom were the biggest community advocates that I know. My dad worked for Social Development Commission for 27 years and poured his heart and soul into doing community relations and community organizing. My mother worked for Social Development Commission for 15 years. And together they made this powerful team around community and family that is unmatched still to this day for me. I remember being a little kid growing up, and they dragged us like everywhere, me and my sisters, and made us do community work. And we were like, yeah, really? You got us doing this? We want to go play. But it wasn't until I started finding myself in places to do community work myself that I understood the reason why community was so important to them. So I'm their daughter. I'm also a mother of 4. I got married when I was very young, had a child when I was very young, but I have these 4 amazing, beautiful children that I never aspired would make it out of Milwaukee without a hiccup. But lo and behold, here I am with 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. I have 4 high school graduates. I have 3 college graduates, 1 who has a master's degree, 1 who is currently in a South African film festival as one of the finalists for a documentary. And then I have a cook, and I have, I could tell you all the things that they have grown into that I never thought they would get to. So we've broken so many ceilings over the years. And I think that was one of the things that powered me to get to the next step. When I got into Girl Scouts, I think it was the change for me that I needed to show that I had this skill to be able to draw people and lead people in a way that was authentic and out of love, because I had that all my life, but I didn't know that that was what was going to come forth. I worked for Girl Scouts for 17 and a half years, the best 17 and a half years of my life, because I had people around me that saw what was in me and they drew that out of me, even if I was, screaming and fighting along the way. I will tell you that all of those things have led me to Goodman. Everything from being poor, being homeless, being a single mother of 4, struggling on my own, to finding my new husband, who has been a gem in my life and a supporter the entire time. It has been a road, a journey. I was telling somebody out in the hallway that it has been a journey. And our journeys don't come without falls and scrapes and all of those things, but those things are what make us who we are today. So because of that journey and all the things that I've been through, one of the quotes that I love is be the change you wish to see in the world. And I practice that every single day. And I even get it down to the most minute detail of the change. The change is always good. People don't believe change is good, but change is good. And so this year, Goodman has launched a campaign of sorts around being the good, but not about Goodman being the good, but about the community of Madison and Dane County being the good, and you all telling us how you're good every day, because I do see it. I go out in the parks and I drive around, I meet people like Jason, and I go to Rotary, and I'm in rooms with people who are doing good all the time. And so Goodman wants to tell your stories about being good. So make sure that you send us those. Let's go here. So What is Goodman doing to be good? Wow, what is Goodman doing? You all know us for child care and older adults. We have a food program that during COVID has served so many people. I can't even tell you how many, but I will tell you on an annual basis, we serve between 35,000 to 40,000 people in some area of our service. That's a lot of people with only 2 buildings and 100 staff. I think that the thing that draws me the most is our ability to be resilient with all the changes that have happened over just the last 3 years. Our staff have moved with the time and made sure that all of our families are getting exactly what they need. And so we're being good. We're trying to be good every single day. These are all the services that we actually have. And some of them you probably know, and some of them you're probably like, oh, they do that? Well, that's how I am every day that I go into the center. Somebody in the center is doing something that I didn't know that they were doing. And I'm like, we do that too? Oh, I'm gonna put that on my list so I can tell people about that. But we have some priorities that we're trying to get through in this next year so that we can be the best that we've ever been coming out of COVID. Our mission is strengthening lives and securing futures. We do that through all of these programs, from Girls Inc. to our early childhood, our food programs that not only serve the people that are in our building, but we also have partnerships within the community that we go in, we deliver food to people out in the community as well. Our teen program, which is probably one of the best that I've seen. I came in and we had maybe about 15 high schoolers, and this year we served over the summer probably double that, almost quadruple that, because they want to learn how to work and they want a loving, secure environment that they can come in. So we do an array of things. Our older adults, you need to come over there because they are mad bingo players and they dance all the time. So I'm around people who are creative and loving and enjoy community aspects. So let me get to those 4 priorities. One of them is being a place where we have meaningful engagement with our families, showing them the ropes, getting them the supports that they need, not putting them in a box altogether, but really, really shaping what they need individually is important to us. We ensure that our youth have a college, career, and a community lens. Last year, I was talking to my staff and I said, you know, it's no good for us to have them learn careers and go to college if they don't give back to the community that they're in. And so we talk a lot about that with them and help them see how they can garner support from community members, but also start to pour themselves back into the community that gave so greatly to them. And that's huge for us. So it's the 3 C's. And when you hear the 3 C's for Goodman, that's what it is: college, career, and community. And then we want to make sure that everybody that comes in the Goodman Center, that is touched by the Goodman Center, that has a reach from the Goodman Center, that they belong there and that they feel it. From the time that they walk in the door, if they talk to somebody on the phone, if they're standing in a line at our food pantry getting food, we want them to know that we want them there and that whatever it is we can do to make that day better for them or their future better for them, we're there to do that. Belonging is so important, specifically, let me just go back for a minute. When I came to Madison, moving back from Mississippi and being from Milwaukee, I thought to myself, why are you back here? Because you had such a hard time when you were in Milwaukee and you said you would never come back here. And then I came back, I started working with Goodman, and I started to see all of the movement around really making people feel strong by making them feel like they belong. And Goodman is a place where I see that happening in every corner, every program. And it's not just happening with our adults, it's happening with our youth too. Like they really want a place where they can call their second home and not worry about if their hair is green or if they don't have the latest clothes on, but they got on their favorite tennis shoes and a t-shirt. If they're non-binary or if they, just happen to be somebody who identifies as a girl, or they've changed their name or they're coming out for the first time. That's important for us. It's important to be a door that is open to all people, all walks of life, all sexes, whatever they believe in, for us to just be that place where they can come and say, yeah, I feel where I fit in here. And that we work on that every day, and we're always striving to be better at that. We're currently working on having conversations with our community about what would that mean if we had a vision statement around DEIAB. And that has been interesting in itself. But the one thing I will tell you, in the conversations that I've been having with the youth and the adults in the community, all of them just want to be. They just want to belong. That's it. That's all. And Goodman is striving to do that every single day. And then the last thing, which I think is a huge thing, and I couldn't do the work at Goodman without this, is I love taking care of my staff. That is probably the most important thing. And when I came into Goodman, one of the things that I noticed right away is that I need to take care of them better. I need to take each one of them individually and figure out what it is that they need and how I can help them, being the CEO of Goodman. And one of the things I thought about was, how do I get them from this wage to that wage? Because money does matter, especially when you are a frontline worker doing hard work. You're the counselor, you're the social worker, you're the person that baby gets on the knee and just cries to if they have a boo-boo, but you're also the person who the teenager comes to and say, I need a job, I just need some money, or I need to get my grades up. And so I have staff in my building that are always trying to make others better. And so it's my job to also make their lives be lives that they can strive in and thrive in, you know, and have some success and see themselves in this next future. But we don't pay our staff who are doing that everyday work the way we should. And so this last year, I've kind of gathered my thoughts around that and pulled in some wonderful partners within the community to have that conversation and figure out how we do that. So taking care of my staff is super important. Okay, they put a couple slides in here about supporting parents so they can support their kids. Yes, we do that. Those are important things too. We work with our staff and partners within the community to have programs that come in to help us do the things we do well, because we don't do everything well. So we have partners who are experts in certain things, SEL and therapy and all of these things. And they come in and they partner with us so we can help parents, because we're partners with those parents when they drop those kids off. They're expecting us to pick up where they left off and then return them different, better, and more vibrant than they were when they dropped them off. Our youth have you all been out to Goodman and saw the garden that's out there? That is all the youth. They start in the springtime planning all of these things for the garden. It is amazing to see. And they work that garden all summer long. And then in the fall, they harvest everything and they can it. It is amazing. Sometimes I'm like, oh, y'all like digging in the dirt? Yeah, some of them don't like digging in the dirt. But as part of our program, they get to try it and see what it feels like to be on their knees and get the earth up and figure out how to grow something. And they're always so proud of themselves when they see the things that come up out of the ground. Like, they're amazed. And I've seen them like go out there, just walk. You could just see some of them going through the garden and smelling all the different smells that they see that have grown up. It is truly amazing to see. And I stand sometimes there's a window up there where I can see them, and I'm like, look at these kids. Like, they really value what they planted in the ground and grown. And you all get to eat this stuff because we have a preservation CSA where people can pick up the things that they've, put together and canned, and learning how to do that in the kitchen and doing the old grandmother stuff that used to happen a long time ago when we didn't have all of the technologies of today to do things. And we cherish that because that's not the only thing they get to do. They also get to work with our catering program. They go over and they're in partnership with Operation Fresh Start and learning things. They work with Trek and learn how to repair bikes. So there's a lot of opportunity around workforce with our youth that is super important for us to do what we do every day. So making sure everyone who visits like they feel they belong. I went to a older adult conversation, and there are probably like 10 people there in the room, and we were talking about belonging and DEI, and of course you have to explain all of the words, you know, because we're saying DEI, you got to kind of spell it out sometimes, because they, you know, those acronyms don't mean anything to them if they're 70, right? And so I'm explaining all the words, and the folks that were in the room are people I see all the time. And I remember Mr. Lee is one of the gentlemen who actually came at the end, but he comes to older adult programming a lot. And he was telling me about the philosophy club that he's a part of through Goodman that meet regularly. And but he's amazing because he always tells me how good the work Goodman is doing and how much he loves coming there. But he's just so stoic and serious all the time. So you never know kind of where Mr. Lee is, but you know he's coming from a good place. As we talked about DEI and belonging, he was giving me ideas of things that I could do for the center to make more people belong. And one of the questions I asked was, who are we missing at the table having this conversation? You know, who are we not thinking about? And then he starts spilling off all of these different groups of folks that he hasn't seen necessarily come through Goodman. And he said, Letesha, we have to reach them too. We have to talk to them too. We have to bring them with us too. And it was amazing to hear from him and to hear from that group. One of the things though that I told them is some of the things you're saying here is the same thing the teen said, same thing that the middle schooler said, you know, and that commonality is going to allow us to be able to bring in a different look on belonging in the Goodman Center. So I'm really proud about that. And then we get to the taking care of people, and I'm going to skip this slide. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what it means to have a living wage in Madison. Because this is a big venture for me. I know other people have done similar things around this in Madison. Madison is known to be the place where people come and raise a family, and it's the best place, right? It's only the best place if we can make a place that has a living wage to take care of our families who do not make enough money to live in Madison. I think about being the best place and I say, okay, Madison, but who are you the best place for? And then I think about your new vision, Jason, and that's where we want to be. We want to be a place that is equitable, that is thinking about the workforce, and that we're bringing everybody up, not just certain people, but everybody. And so we've been having this conversation for the last year. In September, we had a big conversation with some funders, some of our greatest partners. And it was such a good conversation to have because I don't know how many people are thinking about it, but I don't want it just for Goodman. I want it for Madison and Dane County. Is Goodman a place for us to start to see if we can work this out? Yes, but we want to bring some people along with us. So let me just talk to you a little bit about living wage. This is Madison's table for living wage, y'all. $17.52 for a person who has no children, none, zero, and that's still a struggle. It's hard to be in a community that doesn't support you thriving. It's hard. Jason said that we have grown, right? But what populations have grown to their detriment because they don't have the supports that they need? And I challenge you all to start thinking about how we come together as a city and as a county to make sure that not only but you all know this better than anybody. You have businesses, you have staff that work with you in your businesses, and you know you want to bring them to the next place if you could. If you could, what would that look like? living wage is low for a person who's straight out of college trying to make their way, right? But look at the person who has 3 children already, just getting in their career. They don't have enough money to make it. Like they need money. And we count on, I was thinking about, I'm trying to think of your name, Andy. He was talking about his new little one, right? He wants this town to be a place where his little one is gonna grow and thrive, and that he can count on us to support him growing and thriving. It takes a village. He can't do that alone. Him and his wife are gonna do the best they can, but they need the community to also rally around his child to make sure he has the best chance and opportunity that he can in Madison. So the other thing that we talked about is what is the difference between all of these things? Because living wage is not equitable wage, it's not fair wage. It's that amount of money that you need to be able to do the things that you need to do every day. And I'm trying to get my staff to a place where it's not, that it's not just coming from the C-suite that we make this amount of money and my staff don't make enough money to even go home and take care of their family, especially when they've been in our building for 10 hours a day. Like they've spent a lot of time in our building doing work. And so I thought it was important for you all to see the difference between those. Now let's just, everybody close their eyes for just a moment. If you can, and if you trust me, close your eyes for just a moment. And let me just talk to you about what if equitable and living wage campaigns became popular as funding a capital campaign. What would that look like? If we had a campaign that supported human work and dedication, wouldn't that be a different kind of campaign to have? It would be a different campaign to have. We need to think about those things as we're living and how we grow in this community and what we give out to this community. You can open up your eyes now. But when I think about that, I get excited. I get excited enough to get on the phone or on an email to say, "Ooh, can we get together and let's talk about this? Let's figure this out together." Because it's not just my pain point, it's others' pain point as well. And it's going to take us getting together to talk about it, to figure out how, as a community, we can lift this up. And I know I'm from Goodman, right? But I'm part of this greater community. And I would be remiss if I do not acknowledge all the other places that actually need this to happen for them too. I have to bring them along with me. Let's see. So as we go into this next year, and I work with funders that love us, but also trust us, I am asking all of you to start thinking about what would it look like in Madison, in Dane County, to do something different with the folks who work every single day as hard as you work, but they're not getting paid a decent living wage to take care of their families while we build buildings and we create housing that they may or may not one day be able to afford. And I'm asking you to be the good in this community and come together and just have the conversation. That's it. Just have the conversation. I know that there are people in the room who are bankers and those who are economists that know the trends of all of it. Jason knows like everything going on in Madison right now. So he also knows the movers and shakers here. But I would love to talk to you, have a discussion and a dialogue about how we bring the entire community up as we're doing all the other wonderful stuff that they may or may not be able to enjoy because of where they are in this community. And I didn't come to bring y'all down. I am really coming to lift you up because this is a very important community. It's starting to be a very important community to me. And I am investing myself in doing the right thing every single day and trying to be the good in this community. So thank you. You got questions? You got questions?
Questions for Letesha?
Yes.
Thank you for all you're doing and for your, and for your vision and your mission and could you please, and I don't want to put you on the spot, I don't know if there are any city officials here, but with how do you think the city is doing with the kind of challenges that you were talking about, the DEI things, and then of course the minimum wage, et cetera. So how do you think the city as a whole is doing?
You know what, I can't speak for the city. I will tell you that I think that they're thinking about it. I think that it's like every other question, right, that affects everybody, that it's about getting the right people at the table to have the conversation so that they know which way they should be going. I don't think I think we're always thinking about people and making decisions about them without them. And I think until we get to a place where we say to ourselves, this needs to change, and these are the people who need to be at the table to make that change, you know, it could be this or that. I think we need to start bringing the people to the table. We don't necessarily bring the right people there. But I'm willing to have that conversation with the city. That's it? Okay.
Well, Letesha, you are the change that I want to see, and I promise to do my hardest to be the change that we both want to see. So thank you for all your amazing work you've done in 2 years, and we look forward to working together to make sure that what you're talking about today becomes a reality for everyone, that everyone feels like they belong. So Letesha, thank you for everything you do for Madison, for downtown, and for our community as a whole. You've done amazing things in 2 years. I can't wait to be here in 5 and 10 and see how far we're going to be. So thank you so much to Letesha Nelson, the Executive Director and CEO of the Goodman Community Center, for being our speaker here today. We are so thankful, as well to all of our sponsors who made this day happen. Thank you to our primary sponsors, Carlson, Black, O'Callahan, and Battenberg, Ho-Chunk Gaming, Madison, State Bank of Cross Plains, TDS Telecom, the Edgewater Hotel, UW Health, Unity Point Health, Meritor, and all of the rest of you. And thank you to our new members here today. I want to make a special announcement. Our next What's Up Downtown breakfast is again not on a Thursday, it's on a different day, thanks to Thanksgiving and a few other things. It is going to be on Wednesday, November 16th at 7:30 a.m., a little bit earlier. We are excited to release our State of the Downtown report, which talks about facts and figures about live, work, and play in downtown Madison. I highly recommend you attend this event. We'll have copies of the report, an online version of the report where you can drill down deeper into the data about what is happening. A huge thank you again to Matt Carlson and Susan Schmitz, and John Trenelia are the 3 members in this room who created this report 12 years ago. We're honored to have the mayor who will be giving a keynote address, and we'll have a panel discussion with Mark Richardson, Ann Morrison, and Ellie Westman-Shin. Moderated by me, so I promise to talk as little as possible. We may have one other exciting guest as well, so please do join us next month, Wednesday, November 16th, 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. We'll make sure you also have a copy of the report in your email at that same time. All right, thank you all for joining us here today. Thank you for supporting downtown. We hope to see you downtown this weekend. There is a lot happening. We'll see you out and about. Thank you for all your support of DMI, and thank you for all your support of downtown. Talk to you soon. Have a great weekend.